This is an Evergreen Media Network studio production.
Honestly, without Treasure Coast Community Health, I think we'd be a much poorer community in terms of our health. We're always striving to fill the gap for everyone in the community, rich or poor.
Good afternoon and welcome to Community Conversations. My name is Vikki. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, where we provide primary care all around the county. We have 8 different locations to serve you, and if you don't have insurance, that's okay. If you do have insurance, that's even better, because one helps offset the costs of the other. But we turn no one away because we firmly believe that we should have health care for all. And so if you're looking for a provider, give us a call. We're not booked out 4 months. Well, maybe 1 or 2 of our most popular people are, but we can get you in. So call 257-8224. Tell them where you live or work, and they'll set you up for the closest location, whether you're looking for something for yourself, your grandmother, maybe a small infant. We have it all. And we cover more than just medical. We also provide dental, behavioral health, mental health, and substance use disorder services. So if you're looking for someone because you've just arrived in town or you've been in town for a long time, but for whatever reason no longer have a relationship with your prior provider, give us a call. So today I'm very pleased to have another collaborator here. Michael Marsh is with TCCH. And he is one of those folks that is part of the nonprofit world, and we have a lot of overlapping supportive services with Michael. So welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today and be with you. And TCCH is your only indigency moving company here in Indian River County that we cater to domestic violence victims, seniors, and veterans, whether they come through law enforcement or the shelter. If they're in need, if we have to move someone 2 o'clock in the morning, that's what we do here at TCCH. And what we're gearing up for is our big community resource fair. We're very excited. It actually will be a week from this Friday, March 8th, inside Unite Against Poverty, where our office is, 1427th Street in the beautiful, quaint city of Vero Beach.
And right down the street from the county buildings.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And we're gearing up for, at this point, we'll have over 100 nonprofits, your largest community resource fair of nonprofits. And this is our 3rd annual, and we're very excited.
And it has grown every year. I can't imagine it getting any bigger. You must be like spilling out of the doors at United Against Poverty.
We are. We're utilizing every classroom they have over there, inside, outside, for the bigger vehicles like the Parkinson bus and Big Red bus. You know, a lot of those organizations will be outside.
Okay.
We're going to have probably the kids stuff in one classroom, the senior stuff in another to kind of keep everyone together.
Okay.
But the goal is for everyone to mingle.
Okay.
And we're going to do that between 9 to 11.
For the people that are actually presenters or spokespersons for their agencies. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So the nonprofits will begin to set up from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay.
And from 9 to 11, we found it that nonprofits enjoy this mingling time. Because how many times do you really, everyone thinks about the funding piece of it. It's like we're all competing. But we're all doing so many amazing things. When you talk about overlapping, I think that is the most pivotal thing that we need to remind ourselves that, hey, maybe TCCH isn't a moving company, but they know who is. No, not yet. You never know.
No,
right?
No, never.
but the point is, you know who to call.
Exactly.
And that's why the birth of the resource fair happened. It was a conversation where I said, well, Salvation Army, this is United Against Poverty. You should do stuff together. And year 1, we did over 50 nonprofits. Year 2, I think it was like 82. And now year 3, as of this morning, 98 confirmed. So we're well on our way to over 100 charities under one roof.
So with you having outside vehicles, what do you advise about parking?
Well, thankfully, it's funny because that's going to be the next email. But we are able to utilize the county, the overflow. They've been very generous with as far as how that's going to look.
Okay.
So pretty much set up and get your car out is how it's going to work.
Okay.
Because this is going to be open to the public from 11 to 2.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is we'll have the county overflow. And then if they need to get on the goal line from the county, they can always jump on that. But once we remove all the vehicles, then it'll just be the normal, if you're coming to go to their grocery. But we'll have the parking all figured out. Every year we get better and better. And
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. But you don't necessarily tell us about ahead of time because you are still figuring it out. So I thought on behalf of all the listeners, I would just wow, if there's going to be that many vendors, how will the people be able to get in and out?
Sure. And logistically, last year was a lot more smoother. But we try to look at, you got some nonprofits that will just be one person to a table. But then you got some that's two. And now if they're not riding together.
Exactly.
But now we have some more deputies, so to speak, at UP that's going to say, hey, all right, we need this car out. Because we want to make sure that for the people who need these services, that they're going to be able to get, we have a directory that gets created from this event every year. And it's all the nonprofits. So if you're looking for medical, you see there's TCCH. If you're looking for, well, who helps? I need dog food. Okay, well, there's Level Paws. So this directory that was printed thanks to the Sheriff's Department, we're going to have where you could just take it, put in your back pocket.
Perfect.
And there's an electronic version. We had a donor. We have communityresourcefair.org, so they can go there and take a look as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Because, again, there's lots of take-homes from a health fair or a community fair, but that is probably the best one, is to have it all in one resource. Of course, you're going to have the same problem that all the rest of us have had. As soon as it's in print, 3 days later, it could be called obsolete because something's changed within it.
And that's why we have the electronic version, because you're right. Year one, there's 10 of those resources. And we first begun this conversation, I said, let's become the 211 of Indian River County. Because, 211 has its purpose, but they don't know that there's maybe
they're down there.
Exactly. They're not here. So they could tell you what's in Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade. But you want to know, who's that person in Indian River County when I need social services, and who can I go to?
Right.
So we want to keep as much up-to-date information. We want to know that, it's Wendy McDaniel if you're interested in this, or you have a crisis need. And the other thing that comes from this, the directory is great, but we're raising funds. And those funds are going to be for those crisis needs inside of UP. When you think about a person coming out of incarceration, homelessness, what do they all have in common? They may not have their ID, their driver's license, their birth certificate. We want to be a barrier blocker to these individuals. So we're raising
my
funds.
song.
and we still have funds inside of UP right now. So even if you have a TCCH client that says, you know what, I'm going to work, but I need some work shoes. We have funds that are discretionary. As long as they do their crisis appointment, 15, 20 minutes, and say, here's what I need, we're going to get that for that person.
And the Hospital Tax District just recently approved for Wendy some limited essentials, toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, those types of things, to ensure that the folks that are really needing those essentials can get them from someplace.
That's great.
We're very blessed. The other thing that I want to mention is that the Senior Collaborative of Indian River County also has an online access of about 600 or 800 members. It is a free service for anyone that uses it. It is online, and it's all the senior resources that you might need for anyone over 60. There's also a phone number if you're not computer savvy. Just look up Senior Resource of IRC as a Google, or ask your friend to do it, and give Dawn Redstone or Serena a call over there. They'll be happy to help you. And again, all of those resources are very current for the folks that could use them.
And that's a huge need here. And I'm going to be calling because now I have my third child, which is my dad.
I was going to say, you're not 60 yet, Michael.
No. We just hit 40, though. But I had no idea where to start. Yeah. I'm used to dealing with kids or, someone who is in need financially. But I tell you, getting the Senior Resource Association on the phone, VNA, I mean,
we've got a lot of great resources.
Absolutely amazing. So I look forward to calling them for myself, because I like to have information. When someone says, where can I go? If I can't do it for you, I don't stop till I know where you can go, because I know what that's like. I know 20 years ago when I was at St. Vincent de Paul and they gave me that nice orange shirt, I still have it to keep myself humbled. I still have those nice Calvin Klein pair of pants from Salvation Army from about 20 years ago. But I wish back then someone would have said, oh, I don't know, but let me find out for you. And that's big. And I always have the same conversation that, a homeless person at 5 o'clock on a Friday doesn't magically become not homeless, right? So just because admin's closed.
Right.
And that's why it's so great that we build these relationships, because I know I can call over to Hope for Families and say, here's the situation. Can you help? So I'm excited about this resource fair for all of us. Not a day of training, not a day of, it's funding opportunity, just a day of, what are you doing? How can I help you?
Mingling and understanding.
That's it.
So that's great.
Yes, ma'am.
So again, the afternoon of March the 10th?
March 8th.
March 8th.
Friday, March 8th. It will be open to general public from 11 to 2.
Okay.
The nonprofits will start setting up 8 to 9. And we still have seats. Wendy said specifically, you do not stop. So we're going to go all the way to like March 5th or 6th. So if you want to come, nonprofit, then there's a request form. You can contact us at 772-236-7770, or you can go bug Wendy McDaniel at UP, and then she will get you on the list.
You can tell her it's a crisis that you get enrolled.
It's a crisis. And we have tables. I don't know where Wendy has found 100 tables, but she has assured me there's going to be tables for all.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll talk about the specifics of the things that you do that are going on at Unite Against Poverty and some of the outreach that you're doing.
Thank you.
Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, and all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. We're having a big February clearance sale, which includes all Tommy Bahama and Lexington in stock or special order, 50% off. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in Vero Beach, next to Planet Fitness. Family owned and operated since 1991. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com, and don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Sunshine Day.
Hi, I'm Eric Flowers, your Indian River County Sheriff, and we are hiring immediately. Get involved in an exciting career and help your community thrive. Featured on Reels Channel's show On Patrol Live, the Indian River County Sheriff's Office is committed to keeping our neighborhoods safe. Open positions in law enforcement, dispatch, and corrections include benefits. Visit ircsheriff.org for more information. Get your new career started today.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, my name is Vikki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, where we provide primary care across Indian River County. Today, I'm happy to have Michael Marsh here with us from Team Success. Now, what is Team Success, Michael?
Well, we have a mission to alleviate all forms of human suffering. And what that looks like is...
Wow, that's pretty broad.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And that's how we want it to be, because I didn't want to get boxed in where, well, you can only help that homeless person, or you can only help the domestic violence victim. But over the years, I also learned that I have to hone in more of what exactly do you do? Mm-hmm. And to answer that, right now we have a partnership with the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. We do case management with the inmates that are about 90 days from release. Okay. So once they're sentenced, we go in there and figure out where they're going to work, where they're going to live. And it's just amazing to see the community policing. the jail's got goats, now a baby cow.
A baby cow?
Yeah.
That must have been a new
just
delivery.
Recently. So
wow.
last week it went off to auction, and a generous donor said, I want to give it back to the jail. And Captain Jones and her team over there, I mean, it's a whole farm. It's like a miniature LaPorte Farms when you go out to the jail now.
Well, people are learning how to care for animals. And certainly, although our community is growing in population, we still have a lot of land. Mm-hmm. We still have farms. We still have agricultural areas. And if you didn't grow up in that, but always wanted to, this is an opportunity to start fresh.
Oh, yeah. And it's so therapeutic. Right now, it's only for the female inmates. But you even see the staff, even the ones from TCCH, that go out there and they're looking at the goats. And that's just great mentally for all of us.
Absolutely.
And so I sit down, we do an initial assessment, and we figure out, okay, do you have a support system? What does that look like? Mm-hmm. What's your prior? And I could care less if this is your 10th felony trip. I just want to know this is your last one. Mm-hmm. And if it is your last one, then let's talk. Right. And so we have great businesses that help us as far as, okay, we know their background, but if they go through you, we're going to give them a shot. Mm-hmm. So they don't have to worry about, I'm going to have to lie to this employer. Right. As long as you're honest and upfront, let's figure it out. Even with the GED, we have now a partnership to where they could begin their GED at the sheriff's office. Wonderful. And Treasure Coast Technical will let them finish there. So these conversations as to, hey, Sheriff Flowers, how are we going to do this? All right, let's get this person. Let's bring the school district. Everyone is part of the solution. Yes. And I tell people constantly, just because someone's been incarcerated does not make them a bad person. These are folks that live and work in our community, and they make an error in judgment. As you said, maybe they shouldn't be making it 4, 5, 6 times, but everybody's human, and we all learn at different rates. Yes. And so as long as they keep trying, we're going to support them through our nonprofits here in the community. And I think that's one of the things that makes us really special here. Combating recidivism is my job, your job, all of our job, because that next house that gets broken into, maybe it could be ours. Mm-hmm. And so whether it is that first or sixth time, the ultimate goal for all of us, law enforcement and community, is how do you combat recidivism? How do we make it where you're not coming back? Art classes. You would never think that you're walking into a jail. There's yoga. You could do yoga in the jail. No kidding. Suggestion you go to jail to do yoga, but good plan. There's so much in there. Substance awareness has meanings. I mean, the resources, and it's just the beginning. Well, I think we're all coming to the conclusion that people act out for a reason. Right. Okay, it may not be a good reason. It might relate to something 30 years ago that they experienced. It might be related to drug use because of the trauma. Not an excuse, but we all come from different perspectives. Yeah. So what's causing them to do what they're doing, and how do we address the root cause of that? That's one of the reasons that Treasure Coast Community Health came into the jail in the very first place with the Substance Awareness Center, who were giving people education about what is addiction, what causes it, how does it place on you, and what can we do to combat it. And we started giving injections to help curb those cravings so they could really work on their mental health in terms of what caused them to reach out for that substance in the first place, and how can they live without it, and live a very productive and good life. And what's great is, and as you know, how important the continuity of care is, when we're with these inmates, and Derek from Reentry says, you're already a TCCH client, and they're like, oh, yeah. So, forgot. It's been a couple years. Exactly. That piece is already figured out. Where am I going to go for medical, dental, and behavior? You're already there. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to follow up and make you an appointment. We want it to be where that first day out, it's, I got my doctor's appointment. All right, my next is dentist. Now I'm going to start work. There's no time to go back to life of crime. Exactly. It's time to get back and be a productive citizen. So basically, as a community, we're trying to be that support system that used to be mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts and uncles. Yes, right, ma'am. A different village. We're that village of nonprofits. Okay. And in this caring community, the resources are here. So let's talk about the resource of time and interest. Obviously, we're behind you 100% or more. I suspect there's others that have moved in or live here and are just hearing about this for the first time that might like to do some volunteer work. Yes, maybe they have a special heart or a special skill set that they'd like to bring forward. Would you have conversations with
prospective volunteers?
Yes, ma'am. Right now, we're actually looking for a couple more board members and committee chairs. So if you have that passion of nonprofit, we're a smaller agency. We can't afford a grant writer just yet, but we're close. But yes, we would love to have you. They can call us at 772-236-7770. Our website, teamsuccessenterprises.org. You can actually submit a little contact form right there, and it'll come directly to the board, and we'll call you immediately.
That sounds awesome. So are there, in the few minutes remaining, are there any other things that you'd like to share with us?
We're still looking for, if you're interested in sponsoring, the more money we raise, the more money goes back to our community members. And what that means is every nonprofit we've asked for, bring $20. Mm-hmm. You do that times 100, just right there alone. We were able to write a check last year to up for, I think, just shy of about $3,000 after all of our expenses. We have some nice resource fair shirts and a couple of literature that we've had done that cost money. Mm-hmm. So this year, if it was a wish list in the final seconds here is raffle baskets, $20 of each nonprofit. And again, you're still coming no matter what. Right. But the more money we raise, the more birth certificates, ID cards, driver's license, shoes, maybe that toilet paper, the more money we can raise to put right back into the community.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that just need that helping hand up, and that, in fact, is what Unite Against Poverty is so good at. It's the affordable and fresh groceries. It's the step-up class. A lot of folks are going through that. Yeah. You mentioned GED on the inside of the jail, but what do you know about the STEP program?
So what's great is that while they're incarcerated, I can give them the STEP interest form. And then Wendy gives me the dates. Hey, the next cohort begins April 1. And I know it's somewhere around it, but whenever it does. So they have that interest. I tell them behind bars, you have to envision that you're going through the STEP program. Now you start your job. And because while they're doing that, they come out, and then that's exactly what happens. We have a young lady right now that she went from lockdown to now being considered as management in the job that we got her.
Because
and that's what it's about.
You plant the vision for them.
Exactly.
That they can do this.
Help those that society may deem and who may seem to be hopeless, and we let them know they're not helpless.
Very good. I like that little motto. Did you just make that up?
That's for years. That's been kind of my mantra. I mess it up every once in a while, but good. I'm glad it worked.
Okay, so one last time, give them your phone number.
Yeah, 772-236-7770, teamsuccessenterprises.org, and we're located right inside Unite Against Poverty at 1400 27th Street.
And if you think this is a good idea, give them a call, give them some money, give them your time. Okay? Yeah. Thank you very much. We're glad that you were here today. And we'll probably have you back. I think it's about every 6 months, isn't it?
That. I try to do great things every 6 months.
All righty. Well, we're going to wrap up. Again, we've got a lot of things going on in the month of March. You will see Treasure Coast Community Health has a mobile unit for care, similar to the VNA bus, and with coordination with them as well. We're going to be out around the community for those of you that are finding it more difficult to get on the bus and come to us. We're going to come to you. So we're setting up a route now. You'll see us around town, hopefully within the next week or two. And we invite you to come in and say hello, see if we can help you with any of your medical needs. If nothing else, we'll get you connected up to one of our locations for long-term care and preventative care. So again, we're glad that you were with us today on the radio, and we'll be back next week. Have a good evening, all.